Hey, let's play a game. Um, I'm up here at my aunt's doctor's office. Uh, she's been in there a while. I've already done some stuff, but got a roll of stamps here. And I was bored out here, and I like talking to myself. I don't know if you know that about me. Keep wanting to look over here now or something, but I gotta remember you're over there. Watch it, see if she comes out. Got a roll of stamps here. There are 100 stamps in a roll, and I got to thinking, like, what can I do? I didn't record a video yesterday. Yesterday was the boys' birthday, and Tana, we went and did laundry. We went and had lunch with the boys. Anyway, since we had so much laundry to do and stuff, I didn't go to the pickup line. We just waited and picked them up at the front of the school. So I didn't record a video yesterday. I know y'all are all devastated. So this is going to act as yesterday's video, and I'll get this posted whenever I get to the pickup line today, and then I'll record another one for you. So don't worry, you're going to get two, okay? So I'm going to go through this roll of stamps. I got to thinking, I said, what can I do while I'm sitting here working on envelopes for my wife? Because I do that. I'm a good husband. I'm like the best husband, like, in my house, bar none. Like, there's nobody at my house that can compare with me as far as my husband's skills go. For real. So, 100 stamps, okay? That's the way I do it. I got to get this thing off here first. So, I got to wrap it around my finger. That's how I do it. And this thing, sometimes it slides off. Sometimes you got to get it to come off. There we go. Roll of stamps. 100 stamps there. So here's a game we're going to play. Hang on, get off my finger, dude. Here's a game we're going to play. It's called 100 Facts. Okay? And of course, I already know some. We're going to start basic. This is going to be 100 facts about me. Ready to learn 100 things about me? I'm looking at me. Kind of works. I guess I'm kind of looking at you. You ready to learn 100 things about me? The camera's far enough away that I think it's okay. Now, I mean, is this? I don't know. Post in comments. Is this better than this? I mean, I don't know. I think just now it was. Yeah, looks like I'm looking at like your shoulder or something. But 100 things, okay? And this is probably it usually takes me about. I forget. I timed it one time. I think it was like 12 minutes to go through a roll. Might have been quicker than that. It might take a little bit of time. I don't know how much time I have because this makes the 4th roll that I've done. So the way I do them, I just drop that off to the side over here. Get out of me. It didn't drop it the way it normally does. So I drop it off to the side. So I'm going to go one at a time. I'm going to tell you something about me, okay? And we're going to start basic because I don't know. We're going to find out 100 things about me because once we get to, like, I don't know, 3, I'm going to run out of stuff to say. No. So my name is Timothy Wayne Hill. I was born July 22nd, 1982. My mother's name is Grace. My father's name is Gary. My dad died November 9th, 1986, when I was 4 years old. My mother remarried in 1988 to a man named Billy. I call him Billy, and I've told him this before. It's just the way I grew up where I call him Billy, but he is my dad. My sister, well, let me get there. I have an older brother named James Scott, who was born in 1978. I have an older sister named April Jean, who was born in 1979. And I have a younger sister named Tara Ann, who was born in 1983. We're 344 days apart. So for 21 days a year, me and my little sister are the same age. Currently, I am 33. My little sister She was young enough that she doesn't really remember our dad, and so she's never she calls him Billy. I mean, she refers to him as Billy, but she's more apt to call him Daddy and stuff when she's around him. So, like if she's referring to him, I think I've heard her say Mama and Billy before and stuff, but no, when she's referring to him to himself, she does call him Daddy. She's only one of us four that do, but not that the others of us don't feel that way. It's just one of those things. Um, I have twin boys. Get that one done. I have twin boys named Gary and Timothy. Yesterday was their birthday. They turned 6 years old. My wife's name is Tana Ray. She was born in 1987. Told you. I don't even know what number we're at, but yeah, we're at. Okay. Oh, I started getting gray hair at 14. In case anyone has ever wondered. My obesity is not from overeating. Some of it could be from lack of activity, but it's not from overeating. A lot of mine actually is more of a genetic thing. It's hard for me to lose weight. That's a fact. It's true. I am trying to lose weight. I've been trying to lose weight since I became fat. Uh, but the problem with my legs won't be as severe if I can lose some weight. So my doctor is trying to help me lose weight. So everybody, it's true. I'm trying to lose weight. Everybody encourage me. I got married in 2008 on June 6th. That's our anniversary, June 6th, 2008. We've had the van now for this coming February will be 6 years we've had this van. As long as I've ever had a vehicle. And it still runs. I killed my first car, which was a white 92 Chevy Corsica. And I killed it. It's dead. My second car was a 1992 Chevy Lumina, and it too now resides in the graveyard. No, I don't know exactly what all happened with it, but it's gone. My third vehicle was a red truck, and I loved my red truck. Oh, I miss my truck so much. But when we moved to Commerce several years ago, I had to sell it so that we could pay to move in. So I lost my red truck. I didn't say anything before I put this stamp on there. I'm not going to shave my beard till the first of the year. My wife asks me all the time, when are you going to shave? I'm like, tell her, Gary. Gary will tell her. He's keeping it till Christmas, and then he's shaving January 1st when the beard goes. Unless something happens before then that makes me have to go. There's a lady walking towards me. I'm a really good cook. That's not the reason I'm fat, because I don't cook very often. But I'm a really good cook. It's true. My favorite color is blue, but not just. I mean, I like any blue. But my favorite color is up in the sky right now. A light sky blue. Now I like it better when the skies are like really blue. That's my color blue. Love blue. My favorite car is a Corvette. To be specific, it's a 1969 Corvette with the big back end. Ooh, that sounded kind of weird, didn't it? But just I don't know, just the sleekness of it, the way it looks like a wedge. Just the old school, the '69 Camaro and stuff like old school cars, awesome. I do like the new cars as well. My favorite movie of all time is The Lion King. It really is. My favorite character in The Lion King, ready for this? My favorite character was Scar. Scar made me love bad guys. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It was his. I don't know. And of course, I love James Earl Jones. Uh, the sound of his voice, any movie he's in, I love James Earl Jones and his voice. I mean, there's certain people like Morgan Freeman. When you hear their voice, you just go, man, that's good. And some singers and stuff like Marvin Gaye and stuff that have the same kind of. When you hear their voice, Aaron Neville. Ooh. Yeah, some people's voices are just phenomenal. Just when they talk. Randy Travis. My favorite style of music is country music. When I say country music, I don't mean the stuff you hear on the radio today. Stuff you hear today is not country music. I'm talking about Randy Travis, George Strait, Clint Black, Alabama, guys like that. My favorite band of all time is Alabama. When I was 14, I was in love with LeAnn Rimes. It's true. I had posters. Got all of her CDs. I bought books about her. Yeah. I used to sing in my bedroom. This one goes with. I used to sing in my bedroom with my LeAnn Rimes CD, and yeah, we won't talk any more about that. But you can message my sister Tara or Billy Mills, my stepdad. Yeah, he loves to talk about how I used to sing like LeAnn Rimes. The very first song I ever sang in church was Alabama's "Angels Among Us." I was 12 or 13 years old. True story, I have no recollection of actually singing that song. I was so nervous and scared to death that when I practiced the song, there was a box in the communion table there at the church that light bulbs or something. Anyways, it said "Vision" up the side of it, and I just stared at the box, and I got comfortable just staring at the box while practicing my song, so I didn't have to look out at everybody. And whenever the night came for me to sing it, the box was gone. And I literally remember, and I remember this clearly, I remember being so scared, realizing my box wasn't there. And since my box wasn't there to stare at, I just stared where it was supposed to be and kept saying in my head while singing this song, "Vision, vision, vision, vision," because it wasn't there anymore. That's a true story. I used to have a dog named Tinker. He was named Tinker because my parents had some friends over, and one of them went to call him a little stinker, and the S didn't come out, so they called him a little Tinker, and that's how he got his name. I also had a dog named Nasty. Nasty was a German Shepherd. Beautiful dog. I love Nasty. Nasty was named Nasty because when he was a puppy, he did some nasty things. He had diarrhea or something on one of the other puppies, something like that. Um, I've never killed anyone in my entire life. Never murdered anyone. That's the truth. I've broken my left arm here twice in my life. Once in 4th grade, and then again in 7th grade. Both times, my principal, Janet Carter. She was my principal in 4th grade at the elementary school in Rockwall. And then in 7th grade, she moved to the middle school and became my principal, and I broke my arm that year. So a lot of people said it was her fault. Both times I broke my arm, they had to call the high school nurse Miss Garrett, anyway, they had to call the high school nurse to come to the school where I was. Uh, the first time she drove me to the hospital. The second time she was just there to help out. So that was another thing. My parents said when I went to high school that if Miss Carter moved there, they were going to pull me out of school. And because Miss Garrett was already there, I said, well, she'd have to go somewhere else and be called there because that's the way they always had worked before. I have a metal plate in this arm because while I was in the cast the second time, the dead skin. This part's gross. Dead skin built up and pushed the top bone down. True story, true fact. That when it pushed the bone down, the feeling it created, the sensation it created in my arm, was one that cannot be described, other than just to say it was awesome. It felt. I can't even describe the way. I can remember the way it felt, but there's like no words to describe the feelings I had. And the doctor said, "Well, we're gonna fix that," and boy, did they. Because I have a metal plate in my left hand, or left arm, not my hand, I can lay this hand flat. It's hard for you to see because I'm cramped in the van right now, but I can lay it flat. That's as flat as that one goes. True story. I almost lost my stance. We got a ways to go. I didn't find that out until I was 18 years old. I tried to get in the Marines when I was 18, and come to find out, I'm too fat. And I've just gotten fatter. I am not embarrassed that I'm fat. I'm not ashamed that I'm fat. I'm not comfortable that I'm fat. But I'm not one of those people that if you turn and you said to me, geez, man, you're fat. I'm not one that's going to be easily offended. Now, I mean, depending on how it's said, somebody just said, whoa, dude, you're fat. That might hurt my feelings. But, if somebody just turned and looked at me and said, you're talking about losing some weight? You're pretty fat. I'd say, yeah, I thought about it. Then I had a cheeseburger. No. But I'm a fat guy. Trying to deny it is like trying to deny my gray hair. So I have been mistaken for my wife's dad before. True story. Went to pick her up when she was working at McDonald's in Cattle Mills. Saw a guy I knew, and he's like, "What are you doing up here?" And wait for her to get off work. I said, "Oh, that's your daughter?" Who? I was 25 at the time. She was 20. I was 25, and I got mistaken to be her dad. Okay, you understand? I have been mistaken for my children's grandparent. I have been. We took them a couple months ago to the doctor, and when we left there, we went across the street to Wendy's to get something to eat. And the lady there, she goes, "These your grandchildren?" I'm going, "They sure are grand. These are my grandchildren. They are absolutely grand." I said, "No, these are my kids." "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "I've been waiting since they were born." I have an incredibly weak stomach. If I hear someone gag or hear someone like clear their throat and spit a loogie, I am liable to upchuck. True story. I have seen someone go from being stone cold sober to completely flat out drunk to being completely sober again in 5 minutes. True story. My best friend Wesley drank a little bottle of lemon extract, which is high content. He was all like, "Not bad." Ugh. And he got the look on his face that you get when you're drunk, about to throw up, and then he went and threw up, projectile vomited. Nice. Talking about a lot of good stuff here. Projectile vomited, and then I joined in, by the way, because like I said, weak stomach. Anyways, he projectile vomited, and then he was, because he threw up. I don't know, yeah, but I saw his eyes. He was all like, looked drunk, and I was like, wow, I just saw someone get drunk and sober in 5 minutes. It was pretty crazy. Oh, I haven't done one for this yet. That was for something else. Um, what else? I have been in. Let's talk about car wrecks. I was in a car wreck with my two sisters that I thought my youngest sister, died in. Uh, my sister had a Dodge Omni. We pulled out into traffic, and we got hit by a Dodge Ram. It didn't dodge us, but it sure did ram us. Uh, and I got thrown across the back seat of the car, and then I ran home to get Billy. I've been in a car wreck with Aaron Crane and Wesley Bunch, where we rolled a Chevy Celebrity down 205 in Rockwall. Yeah. Not end over end, but sideways. Rolled it several times. Uh, I don't remember anything from the point when the yellow lines outside the windshield went to outside my window. I was in the back seat, went outside my window. I don't remember anything from that point until I came to and there were lights around my feet. The back seat had broken off completely loose, and it was laying on top of me because we ended up upside down. It was on top of me, and the dome lights had come on or whatever, which were now at my feet. But yeah, the back seat was on top of me, and there were lights around my feet, and I commenced to freak out. So that happened. Uh, then a car accident on Christmas Eve, I think it was. Could have been Thanksgiving. I think it was a Christmas Eve party with my aunt, who I'm waiting for, and her husband at the time. I guess he's still her husband, but we were coming down Ridge Road right in front of the Wendy's, where well, not somewhere right in there. Anyways, a car pulled out in front of us, and pow, we hit it, and we had dogs in the car. My aunt's dog Buster used to hate me like with a passion, but after that wreck or whatever, my aunt handed him to me because she had to get the other dog, the smaller Chihuahua. Uh, she had to get a hold of him, and so I had Buster for like the rest of that day, keeping an eye on him and stuff. And from that day on, Buster was my best friend because he dogs remember things just like people do, but he associated that in that time, one of the worst experiences of his life, I was there for him, so he loves me to death now. He's a totally different dog now. Anyways, he's old and fat, like me. We did it together. No, I was in a car wreck with my whole family. Well, I don't know if all of us were in the van. Right in front of Wendy's on Wednesday night, I think it was. We were headed to church or something. A lady behind us, we stopped. She didn't. Her front car went. And, yeah, I was in that car accident. Nothing happened to me in that one. Nothing happened to me in the one with my aunt either. In a car accident with my brother-in-law Nathan and Wesley Bunch. Uh, we were going to take a corner in our old neighborhood at 40 miles an hour that you should never take it. I think 20 is actually too fast for that corner. You do about 5 around that corner. But Wesley decided he was going to try to take it at 40. And right before the tires blew out on and we slid off the road, my belt buckle clicked. So I remember hearing click, pow, boom, bang. And of course, I'm the one saying this is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. The tree that we slid around into, guess where it hit? My door. This is the only accident that I've been quote unquote injured in. The deal to roll the crank to roll down the window banged into my leg, and I had a bruise the size, round bruise that was the shape of the crank knob, whatever. I've been in a lot of accidents. Um, I've only been in one where I was driving. It wasn't really an accident. It wasn't really an on purpose. I'm not trying to say it was on purpose. I was behind an 18-wheeler that was turning into a construction yard place, and I tried to go around it. About the time that he realized he wasn't making the turn he was trying to make, So he put it in reverse and backed into me. I was driving my sister's car. She had Tara was at a 91. I think it was a 91 Pontiac Grand Prix. Something like that. Oh. I used to ride my bike to work at Mrs. Fields at the mall, Townies Mall. I had a job there for 3 days. And on the third day, on my way back home, the gears on the bike started popping off. Bing, bing. Yeah, it was great. So I wasn't able to get back to work because it took me like about an hour, I think, or maybe a little bit longer to ride my bike to the mall from Box Springs. And so to walk it would have taken like a whole lot longer. And yeah, I wasn't doing that. And so I had to quit that job. Places I've worked. My first job was at Walmart. No. No, my first job was answering phones at Papa John's Pizza in Rockwall. That's still not actually correct. That was my first official job. But my first technical job, uh, they had held me a spot at the McDonald's in Rockwall. I was waiting to get my Social Security card in. So I had already had the interview and everything, and she had hired me, but she was waiting for my Social Security card before she could put me on the schedule. And I got my Social Security card, but I never went up there. So technically had that job. It was like, I don't know, 6 months later, she was all like, "Did you ever get your Social Security card?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah." She's like, "Well, you never let me know, you know." So, I mean, I held that spot for you. Well, thanks, but I don't want it. So, that was my first job. I don't know if I did that. Anyway, my second job was at Walmart in Rockwall. I did 6 months at the Walmart in Rockwall. Then I quit slash got fired. I don't know. They put me as non-rehirable. Walmart's bad about that. I worked for Jack in the Box. That's where I learned Spanish. Learned Spanish at Jack in the Box. I worked at Albertsons in Rockwall. I worked at Target in Rockwall. Worked overnight and some in the morning. Back in the Razor scooters first came out. I don't remember what year it was, but I was working there then. Excuse me. Vanilla Coke Zero. Um, I worked for Easy Mart in Rockwall, in the corner of Horizon and Ridge Road. I worked there twice, two totally separate times. Two different managers. Worked at the Walmart. Did I say I already worked? Already say I worked at the Walmart in Box Springs. I worked there for a while. I love the Walmart in Box Springs. Miss you guys. Not really. Kind of, sort of. We had a lot of fun. I worked at the Walmart in Greenville. I don't miss you guys. I worked at the Brahms in Greenville. I worked at Texas A&M University at Commerce. I worked in the dining room with dining services. Made burgers out of this world. Made omelets out of this world. I did Mongo grill for a while. All my lions. Let me hear a whoop whoop. Yeah, something like that. Uh, where else have I worked? Oh, I worked at Kelly Services. I worked at a pharmaceutical type place called Covidian. Worked for Covidian through Kelly Services in Commerce, but they've shut down since then. Through Kelly Services, I've also worked at the Texas Book Company, which was a lot of fun. I loved working there. I've always wanted to work at a library. It's the closest I've ever gotten to working at a library. Let's see here. What do we got this time? Where else have I worked? I worked for one day through utility services at A.B. Morey in Greenville. I don't even remember what all we did that day. We didn't do much. Move flour around or something. Used to work for a company called My Generation Helper, which is a non-medical at-home healthcare something. I was a certified. I had to pay money to take this test and to become certified. I was a certified companion aide, a CCA, and then I looked at the fine print after I stopped working there, and a CCA is only good through the company that you're working for while you're working there. Like if I went back to My Generation Helper now, even though I've already gotten my CCA, I'd have to become certified again, something like that. The certification, you have to pay like $25 for it, and it's not really worth anything. It wasn't really worth anything. I didn't, to be honest, they gave me a book with it, and I had DVDs and stuff, and I looked at it, but none of it seemed all that important. I took a test, aced the test, and that's all it took. So it's really easy to get it. But I was proud of myself. I've got a certificate that says I'm a certified companion aide. So I work for My Generation Helper. I work for, who else do I work for? I already said Miss Fields. Papa John's. I used to work at the Slotsky's Deli in Rockwall. Had a lot of fun there too. Didn't really know anybody there. A lot of them, there was a family that worked there together, and they all spoke Spanish. Uh, but the lady that, I think she's the one that owned the franchise, she really liked me, and she had told me that if I ever wanted whenever I had to quit, because I quit and I moved to Box Springs, she said if I ever came back and wanted my job back, just to let her know. And, I ought to go back over there and say, do you remember me? I want my job back. Uh, where else have I worked? I worked for a cleaning company that cleaned for Kohl's. So I worked at Kohl's, but not for Kohl's. But I was managed by Kohl's, sort of. I don't know. But I swept out the fitting rooms, and changed trash, and that kind of jibber jabber. Vacuumed the carpets, stuff like that, while they were open. Um, for Christmas one year, my mom and stepdad, I don't know whose idea it was originally, but they thought it would be hilarious if they took all my gifts and put them into one big box and wrap it and stick it at the back of the tree, back where you couldn't really see it. And then on Christmas morning, when they handed out gifts, everyone was getting something but me. And they kept handing out gifts, and I mean, they had this on video, and I'm sitting there with nothing, and then my brother's getting all kinds of stuff, my sisters are getting all kinds of stuff, and I'm getting nothing, and I'm getting nothing, and we get all the way to the end, and I still haven't gotten anything, and I'm almost in tears, going, you know, what's up? And then they pull out, they said, oh wait, here's something, and they pull it out, and it's a big old box, and it had all my individually wrapped presents inside of it. And they thought it was just so funny to traumatize a child like that. So that's a true story. That really happened. Do that to him, Brother Crane. Paybacks. You got my back on the hanger thing. I already told the story about the hanger. Uh, true story. When we lived in Greenville, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this or whatever. We had a house that we were staying at in Greenville a couple years ago. And we got broke into 3 times. And they stole a lot of stuff. I have my dad's banjo. My mom gave it to me for my 18th birthday party. She gave it to me for my 18th birthday party. She gave it to me at my 18th birthday party. For my 18th birthday, she gave me my dad's banjo, and it's one of my most prized possessions. And when we got robbed, that was the first thing I looked. They had stolen. I had an electric guitar that got stolen. I bought that from my friend, and not that I didn't care about it or that it wasn't worth anything, but I mean, I bought it from him, and I mean, it was a good guitar, and I liked it, but it didn't have any sentimental value. So I mean, it got stolen. It can be replaced. Uh, but I thought they stole Tana's keyboard, and I'd just gotten her for Christmas. Uh, but I thought they had stolen my dad's banjo. I called my mom and said, "Daddy's banjo's there," and she said, "Yeah, it's here." I was like super emotional, thinking it got stolen. I'm going. It wasn't even to anyone else. It's not worth anything. But I'm like, to me, I'm like, take the TV, take the stereo, take the computers, leave the banjo. You know what I'm saying? Uh, for Christmas, was it this last year? Might have been this last year. I think it was this last year. Uh, my mom gave me my dad's old pocket watch, and uh, she does that every so often. She'll go through some of the old stuff, and she'll give each of us, something that was our dad's. And she gave me his pocket watch, and I was like, "Oh, this is super cool." I was like, "This is something, this is nice. This is something that he carried with him, and a piece of him that I could have and hold." And anyway, she gave me the pocket watch, and we're getting up pretty high in time, aren't we? Anyways, 100 facts. Gotta kind of watch the whole thing. Well, yeah, gotta watch the whole thing. Anyways, my mom gave me the pocket watch, and I was all like, "Oh man, I don't think I might have cried a little bit because it was my dad's." Uh, but she had left, and I was showing it to the boys, and we were sitting in the bedroom, and I was looking at how it worked. Anyways, it's a wind up one, and so I don't know what made me do it, but anyways, and I saw that it would wind, so I started winding it, and it started ticking, and I lost it because I called my mom and I said, like, it works. Like, you don't understand. I have a piece of something that my father owned. I have something that belonged to him that I can use that actually works. I'm like, and I can use something that he used. And for me, things like that, I'm like, that's my daddy's watch, and it works. Anyways, I cry a lot. There's a fact. Let me tell you a fact right here. I cry a lot. A lot. I'm a big crybaby. I've been all my life. Um, I thought of something a second ago, and then I forgot it just now. We're almost done with 100 facts. A lot of facts. Oh, let's talk about the instruments I can play. Uh, First instrument I learned to play was, I almost said bass, but it wasn't the bass. First instrument I learned to play was actually the baritone in sixth grade. I played the baritone. The second instrument that I learned to play, I think it was, oh, yes, second, was the tambourine. I used to sit on stage and play the tambourine. Boy, I was good. Oh, yeah. I was a tambourine man. Yeah. Then I learned to play bass. My stepdad needed a bass player, and well, there I was. So, bada bing, bada boom. She should be almost done in there. So I learned to play bass. Then I also learned to play acoustic guitar, or just guitar. Because acoustic and electric, they're different, but they're the same. Unless you're playing lead. I don't know how to play lead. Also learned to play some piano. I'm not very good at piano, but I can play. I think the reason I'm not as good at piano as I could be is because of the metal plate in my arm. I'm not able to maneuver my hand and stuff the way you should. Uh, I know how to play the ukulele. I have my own ukulele. Y'all know this. You've seen this. You know this, man. I can also play the banjo. I have played on my daddy's banjo. I'm not very good at it. I've not played it very much, but I can play the banjo. I've done it before. Ah, got an itchy. Okay. Nearly there. How many I got? Hang on, I'll turn it over to you. How many I got left? It's one on my finger. Um. Oh, what can I tell you about me? Oh, I graduated high school, Rockwall High School in 2000. I didn't walk across the stage, but I did graduate. Um, Everyone got their diplomas at the beginning of June. I got mine in the middle of June. I had to take a CBE, a credit by exam, for biology, which I had failed twice. So I'm an excellent test taker. The reason I had so much trouble with my grades in school is because I just did not do homework. A lot of my grades were the reason that I was able to pass was my test scores were always really high. I have looked up and taken IQ tests before, and although I seem pretty stupid and I do stupid things and I say stupid things, I'm actually quite intelligent. I'm not like a genius or nothing. I have a lot I could learn, but I've taken tests and stuff, and it shows that I'm fairly smart. Fairly smart. I'm a fairly smart guy. Um, did I work anywhere else? I'm still trying to remember. I feel like there's somewhere else I'd worked. No, I was about to say, oh, I worked for Brahms, but I didn't say that already. Um, oh, I knew what I was going to name my children when I was in middle school. I knew I wanted to have. I knew I wanted to have two boys and two girls like my parents did. Uh, and I don't think I ever picked out girl names really. I think even at that age I was all like, well, since I know what I want to name my boys, uh, I'll let my wife name the girls. I knew even that young, I knew I wanted a junior, but I knew more than that. I wanted to name uh, my son Gary after my dad. Um, and I've given thought to that if I had another son, I'd name it after Billy or name it after Tana's dad. Uh, like her dad's name is Carl Lee, and my stepdad's name is Billy Jean. Uh, so I was thinking maybe like a Billy Lee. I don't really like the way Carl Jean sounds, or Billy Carl, uh, Carl Billy, Carl Jean. I don't know, but I was thinking Billy Lee. Billy Lee sounds pretty good. Billy Lee sounds kind of silly. Silly. It sounds kind of silly. Okay, we got 5 to go. Silly coming out. We're at 45 minutes. Go just along. 100 facts. 100 facts about me. 5 things left. I have witnessed more dogs being hit by cars than I like to even think about. I watched a puppy get hit. When me and Tana got together, she had a dog named Snuggles. We watched Snuggles get hit. Uh, I can't think of it. I'm not even trying to. I'm not even going to try to, but I remember those two vividly. Seeing that puppy get hit, and that puppy wasn't just hit; the puppy was dragged. Okay, and then seeing Snuggles get hit. I don't want to think too much more about that. I had a dog named Curious. Uh, that was a drop off at Walmart. Somebody dropped it off at Walmart. Anyways, I took her home. I don't have any pictures of her or anything, but I had her for almost 3 months, and then she was older than we realized, and she started coming in heat. And Nasty, who became my dog after that, Nasty's mom, the only other female that we had there at the house, when Curious started coming into heat, Nasty's mom killed her. So that's a true story. 3 more facts. Um, I'm a songwriter. I've written quite a few songs. Some of y'all know that. I've written quite a few songs. I started writing songs when I was in sixth. Well, I started writing poetry in 6th grade. I started writing songs in 1996. The first song I ever wrote was called "A Little Bit of Both." That was because it was about. It was a. I was asked. I still remember. I mean, I was 12 years old. No, no, I was 14 years old. 13, 14 years old. The time when I wrote it into is it a Christian song or is it a love song? And I said, well, it's a little bit of both, and that's why I named it "A Little Bit of Both." Uh, I still remember all the words to it. I don't have it. I've never put music to it really. Kind of a weird song. I also wrote a song called "Maybe Someday," which was my favorite song that I wrote for a long time. But then I tried to put music to it, and the way I wrote it, uh, almost impossible to have music to it. Uh, I've thought about finding some sort of kind of super guru to help me put music to it before. When I was in high school, my senior year, I was in a songwriting class, and I think it was Robbie Woolley. Robbie, if you're watching this, and let me know, make sure it was you, if you remember. Uh, but I was supposed to sing a song that I wrote, and I wanted to sing that one. I didn't, and I tried to put music to it, and I couldn't get music to it at the time. I was just basically playing bass. Anyways, the teacher, she sent me into the little practice room with Robbie Woolley, and he was just gonna play while I sang. And he played. I told him it was kind of bluesy, so he played a melody type thing for me, and I sang it. And when I performed it for the class or whatever, that's the closest I've ever had it to sounding good with music. And it was Robbie Woolley that played it for me. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it was Robbie Woolley that played it for me that day. Last fact. Um, there's a lot of stuff you don't know about me. That's the last fact. That's a fact. There are a lot of things. You can't look at that. It's got somebody's address on it. You crazy? There are a lot of things that you don't know about me. And there's a lot of things that you ain't gonna know about me. I'm getting most things. You ask me a question, I'll answer it. Anyways, it's 100. It's 100 facts. I know it took close to an hour. I wonder what's going on. I figured she'd be out here by now. 100 facts. So there you go. Now you know more about me than you wanted to. Thanks for watching. If you did, and if you didn't, well, I didn't want to know anything about you either. So, yeah. challenge anybody else to do 100 packs. See what you come up with.